Okay, sorry, some reason my camera shut off. So that's pretty much it, if you can see that through the glimpse I kind of showed you. Okay, so pretty much the care guide, it's quite simple. For example, for betta fish, so like these guys, all my betta fish are in 2.5 gallons and up. I don't recommend you put betta fish in tanks like that down there. That's like a 1/2 gallon. I don't recommend it. They do a lot better in 2 gallons and up. That's just my opinion alone. I'm not gonna say I've always kept them in here, because I haven't. Sorry. I think you guys would actually like me to talk to you, not just look at the fish. But I've not always kept bettas in 2.5 gallons like I do today. I've kept them in 1/2 gallons. I've kept them in bowls. Not happy about it, but I have. And I've learned. I've had a betta for over 2 years. He did sadly pass away a few weeks ago. But yeah. But I really do love bettas. They're really cool. They're really awesome fish. They're really amazing. They're fantastic. Very social. Very likes to be center of attention, like this guy right here. He likes people to know that he's there. Then you got some of the shy guys. The guy, he's right now covered in ick. And then the old guy. So, yeah. But they're not very hard to care for. Pretty much 2.5 gallons. Feed them, you can feed them this brand. You can feed them Omega. You can feed them any food that is betta related. Like there is Omega. Like the problem with bettas, don't give them too much meat or give them too much, or they get bloated really quickly. So for me, this is the best brand that works for me. I don't have so many issues. It's not the healthiest thing out there, but it does work and it does do what it's supposed to do for my fish. My fish like it, so I feed it. So that is pretty much that. They don't need heaters or filters. So they're pretty much the easiest fish for freshwater to care for. Okay, now we're going to be going on to the little bit harder ones. So we're going to be going on to like guppies, mollies, platies. Okay, sorry, just fixing the camera. They're easy, but they do need a filter. They're going to need a heater in the winter. These guys actually might as well. But they don't need it as much as compared to these. You need a big tank. You need at least, like let's say you have 2 of these, you can put them in a 5 temporarily. I would honestly put them in 10. Like pretty much nothing smaller than a 10 gallon for these guys. And they'll do fine. Pretty simple. They can have bale bottom tanks. You can have, they like the core like any fish does. They're not super hard to care for. Pretty simple. They're pretty much the next level up from a betta fish. Pretty much 25% a week on water changes. Bettas, I do at least 80 a week, just because they are smaller tanks compared to bigger tanks. So that's a benefit of having a bigger tank. It's in a way less work. And now on to the next species. Okay, so in here is a 10-gallon pleco tank. Plecos are a little bit, pretty much to the next level up from the, what are they called? The bettas, then the livebearers, then the plecos, pretty much. Okay, so plecos are a little bit more hard to care for. I've had a lot more issues. I've only had one make it at least a year. These guys need a bit cleaner water and need a lot of oxygen as well, or they're going to be up here and breathing all weird, and they're just not going to be super happy. They need clean water. They poop a lot, so you need to do quite a bit more water changes the bigger they are. Like the ones that here about 4 inches, 4.5 inches. And I have 3 of them, so you can see one right there, one back there, and one over here. They're very social. They can be pretty much put with big fish like Oscars. If you have like the common pleco, and it's like, let's say your Oscar's 10 inches, put an 8-inch one in, maybe even 9, but not bigger than that. Well, you can, it's not a problem, you know. So that's pretty much them, and they need heaters. And they need filtration. Okay, and then the next stage we have, well, actually the next stage is cichlids. Right now I have no cichlids to show you right now, so I'm just going to talk to you about the cichlids. Cichlids are quite hardy. You're going to have problems if you don't have a big enough tank for aggression. Let's say you have a 20-gallon, get fish that are about 1 inch, nothing bigger. You can, but you can only keep like 2 or 3 in there, like at 4 inches. So for those guys, I recommend at least a 50, 40-gallon, maybe a 30, but 40 at least. Then you can get some bigger cichlids. There's lots of ranges of cichlids. There's peacocks, there's zebras, there's trophias. Trophias are very beautiful. I think, in my opinion, they're one of the nicest, but they are one of the most expensive fish out there. But they are nice. I'm not saying the other cichlids are not nice. They are quite nice as well. Like the electric blues, the yellow, what are they called? Yellow labs are amazing as well. What are they called? Dragon's bloods are very cool as well. And there's lots of other ones. It's pretty much up to you. They can take a lot of range of water quality. I'm not saying to wait 3 months and then change it. No, they still need the same weekly 25%. They need air, like a filter, like an air pump, sponge, and a heater. Okay, and then we have the last one, and pretty much this is exotics. These are puffers. I can't tell you exactly right now what their care guide is, but they're not something you're gonna find very easily. These are called pea puffers. I have 3 of them. I have a heater in here, and they're doing really good. They're actually back there. Can't even see them. They're so tiny. It's just that little dot. They're really cool, but they're not, I don't recommend that for beginners. And that's pretty much it. So pretty much the beginner fish besides the beta. So betas are first, then we have the live bears are second, and then like plecos. No, okay, so for the live bears, it'd be live bears and cichlids. Then you would have like the next level, so it'd be after that, so a little bit harder, would be like plecos, tetras, and yeah, and yes. And then for the rare to really hard fish would be like discus, pea puffers, and I'm pretty sure there's a few other ones, I just can't think of the name of it. So yeah, have a good day.